Hello, Kirk MacDowell. I'm chairman of the LINC committee. LINC is the Leadership Identification and Nominating Committee, and we are here to run and administer the 2026 ESA Board of Director elections. Before I get started, I would very much like to thank the LINC committee, who has worked tirelessly to bring you a good and qualified slate of candidates. Those members are Kelly Bond, Joe Colosimo, Mark Kellenberg, Tracy Larson, Aaron Selma, and a special thank you to Stu Forsheimer, good friend of mine, who graciously gave up his position so Aaron could come on to the committee. We like to rotate people in and out, and so special thanks to Stu. LINC's mission is to find quality and qualified candidates to serve you, our members of ESA. Each candidate has been vetted by ESA to be either the primary or the alternate voting member of their company, and a outside source has also verified that these people are in good standing in their community, in the industry, and at their company. So here's how it's going to work, a little bit different from last year. I am going to interview the three non-contested candidates, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then I'm going to interview each contested candidate one-on-one, so you have a chance to take a look at all the candidates and make your selections. Certain dates are very, very important, and this is all you need to do is remember these dates and you're good. On April 21st, ESA will send out to the primary voting rep ballots to be filled out by the primary voting rep of your company. If you don't know who that is, you can talk to Taylor Criddle from ESA or myself. I'd be happy to help you. Secondarily, if we don't hear back from the primary vote member of the company, on April 28th, about a week later, we send it out to the primary and to the alternate member as well, so we make sure we get the votes back in. On May 14th, all the ballots are due by 2 p.m. Central Time. I then, as LINC chair, will call each member and let them know if they made it or they did not make it. And then on June 1st at ESX, because I know you're all going, all the board, the new board will be sworn in along with our new chairman, Jeremy Bates, and Kevin Stone, of course, will be stepping down then as chairman. It's been great working with Kevin, and I look forward to working with Jeremy in 2026, 2027. So here's where we are now. Let's talk about contested and non-contested election today. So contested does not mean, it's not a negative term. Contested means we have more people running for an office than we have slots. So the contested elections are for the associate members. We have three people running. We have Dean Belisle, who's the incumbent from DMP. We have Don Morrow from Highland Tech, and we have Quentin Gunther from Resideo. So that will be, you'll be able to vote for one of those three, and we're going to be interviewing all three candidates, so you'll be able to see that after this video is over. On the national security company director, or national company director, I should say, we have two people running. We have Holly Borgman from ADT, and we have Brian Robertson from Comcast. And neither one of those are incumbents, so you will have a chance to listen to all these people and then make your vote accordingly. We are very excited about having you participate in ESA elections. Please vote. We are honored to do this on behalf of all members and look forward to watching the videos with you after they're all done. Dean Belisle, welcome back. You've served on the board. I've served with you on the board. Would you please tell the audience a little bit about your background?
I'd be happy to, Kirk. And first, I'd like to say it's an honor to be here with you and with our fellow ESA members. Thank you for having me today. And my birthday is May 17th. So with Kirk's deadline on May 14th, it would make an excellent birthday gift to all of us. As far as my background, grew up in this business. I am second generation. First time I ever went on a job site, I was probably 8 years old. My father did not believe in apprentices. He believed in gophers. So I would go for this tool and go for that tool. Grew up in the business, high school, university, worked weekends and summers installing alarms on the technical side, and got into my career about my junior year of high school. We saw where the industry was going. and we decided to restart the company, rebrand it entirely, start our own central station. So I have built a company over a course of 30 years with an in-house central station and pretty traditional intrusion, access control, video, commercial fire rated, fire certified myself, NICET level 2. Been through all that. Big proponent of giving back to the industry. The industry has been very good to me and my family, and I like to return that favor. So I've been active in many committees and associations throughout the years. SEAC, as far as fighting false alarms and curbing alarm management, has been very near and dear. Worked with them for years. I currently sit on the Alarm Association of Michigan's Council for False Alarm Reduction. I'm the chairman of that one. Former president of the Bourbon Fire Alarm Association of Michigan, served 2 short 10-year terms. Been on that board now for 36 years.
Hmm.
And sort of the pinnacle of it all, I get to sit on the board for ESA for the last 2 years and take it to the national level, and it's been extremely rewarding.
Wow, quite a background. So what do you do at, tell us about DMP and what do you do at DMP?
So you know what? It seems like about every year I get a new role at DMP as we grow. My roles grow. A big component of what I do is dealer growth. So dealer growth strategies, training of both the sales team and of the operations team. Help those dealers become as efficient and profitable as they can, and bring new strategies that they can take to market that maybe they haven't seen before. And it's been one of the fun parts for me in my career. 30 years running my own company, visited a lot of our friends in the industry over the years, and then for the last 8 years, I've been doing a role similar to this. So I've literally been in hundreds, if not thousands, of alarm dealers' offices and operations, and it's given me an incredible insight into what our industry does, our strengths, our weaknesses, and where we're going forward. So passion turned into fun, turned into a career.
Great. Thanks, Dean. So if you're re-elected to the board of directors, what do you plan to bring to the table or maybe even do differently from the last couple of years?
I feel like I'm just getting started. 2 years, it takes a little while to get to know your fellow board members and the role we serve on the national level. So it's really a case of hitting the ground running, knowing where we've been for the last 2 years and what we can do going forward. I bring an awful lot of energy, an awful lot of dedication and commitment for the betterment of the industry. I consider myself, I may have an ego, but I'm also very selfless. I always put the industry first. I think it's very important to us. We've got an incredible industry. So energy, dedication, experience, knowledge, and I think the foresight of where we've been, also to where we're going. So my goal is to elevate, especially ESA. We need to be the voice of the security and life safety industry. I truly believe we have the mantle now, but there's far more room for us to take that mantle and grow it out where we are the single voice for the industry.
Great. Well, Dean, listen, thank you very much. And thanks for getting right to the point. It's been a pleasure working with you as a fellow board member. And we want all ESA members, primary and or alternate members, to vote. If you both vote, doesn't count double. We take the primary as the voting representative. But if the primary doesn't vote, then the alternate does get the vote. So please reach out to Kirk MacDowell or Taylor Criddle if you don't know who your primary or secondary vote member is in your organization. And let us know if you have any questions. Dean, thanks very, very much. Appreciate it. And ESA, look forward to a great election. Quentin, welcome. Thanks very much for being here. I know you have a long history in the industry with Resideo. So give us your background. Give the listeners your background.
Yeah, so I have been with Resideo for 15 years, but I started in this industry roughly 35 years ago, and I started as a technician for a local company right here in Baton Rouge, and had a great mentor there that allowed me to kind of grow up and take different leadership positions within that company, but was on the dealer side of the business for well over 20 years. And then understanding the power of what the First Alert program did for our business, I had an opportunity to try the manufacturing side. At the time, it was Honeywell. As many of you know, we have spun to Resideo now. But I came in on that side as a dealer development business professional, right? Working with dealers across our industry, just sharing best practices, bringing them into our network of great dealers. That's where I started. And then as time went on, I now lead that program. I have 6 direct reports, and our main goal, right, is to, create better security companies out there through, a lot of the resources that we offer here at Resideo. But, really, I would say if I look back at my history in the program, right, the thing there, at least in the business, it's the power of this network and in the associations that I've made that have made me successful and that have given me the passion that I have for this industry.
Great. Hey, thanks. And thanks for the background. Um, what do you plan to bring to the table if elected to ESA Board of Directors as an associate member? As you know, as an associate member, you represent the interest of the entire association and the associate members, just not one particular company. So what would you plan to bring to the table?
Yeah, the things that I'd like to bring to the table, right, is again, I want to participate in any areas that need that assistance, right, where my expertise, my background, my experience may be of service to the group. One of the things that I've been a part of for a couple years now is the membership campaigns, right, and that's an area that I'd like to continue to focus on because I really believe again that the power that this net or at least the ESA gets is from its members, right. And every time we bring a new member onto this group, right, we gain their experiences, right? It's their feedback, it's their participation that makes ESA even stronger, right? So I'd like to continue to focus on that membership piece of it. And then again, mentoring. As I've become older now, again, I've been in the industry for 35 years. I'm now 60. One of the things that really just every day preoccupies my mind is just how are we mentoring that next generation of young professionals that need to get into this industry, right? And it's one of the things that I do today is I challenge everyone, whether they're an ESA member or not an ESA member, is hey, who in your organization is that next person that's going to step into your shoes? Are you allowing them to create that network of other professionals out there that are going to help build their careers? So that's one of the things I would like to just really stay focused on and bring to ESA, right, is that commitment to growing ESA through membership, right? And then also the capacity just to continue to mentor and look at that next generation of professionals that are going to make our industry great and continue the service that ESA does.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I totally agree with you with mentoring. The opportunities I have to travel across the country and talk to integrators and dealers, one of the top three questions I always receive, and I think a lot of the board of directors receive, is how do we grow? How do we mentor the succession planning, right? How
Right.
do we mentor the next phase? And ESA is, and I intimated this a little bit earlier on another video, is ESA is going to be launching some really neat programs
Yeah.
in later 2026 to help our integrators get there and
Yeah.
help them facilitate new mentorship and new leaders within their company. So it's very exciting. Well,
Right.
listen, anything else? Did I miss anything?
No, looking forward to serving. Again, ESA, I believe again in this network. I believe in this power of this network, and again, would love to serve the board in any way, shape, or form, and look forward to your vote.
Great. Well, listen,
Yeah.
thanks very much. Appreciate you being on, and good luck to you, sir. Don, welcome. You and I know each other from another organization, but I'm not going to introduce you. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. So tell us a little bit about you and your background in the industry.
Thanks, Kirk. So I've been in the physical security industry for going on 14 years. I've worked for companies like Johnson Controls, Tech Integrated Security, Brevo, and Honeywell. I've served in leadership roles both at Brevo and Honeywell, and had a really successful career in both of those organizations. Over the last little over a year, I've been the founder and CEO of a AI automation agency, serving small, medium businesses primarily, but with a focus around physical security teams. And so, applying that practical knowledge of knowing this space, not only have been an integrator, but also for the manufacturing side and having close relationships with integrators, afforded me the opportunity to not only help some of them with AI automations in their business, but also reinvest back into a product that is initially serving them. And so my background is that I've also a part of several leadership committees. As you mentioned, I'm a AI chair for Life Safety Alliance, where I lead an AI advisory board, talking about anything from responsible AI to practical use cases. I'm also a pillar leader in an as-is IT security committee. I'm also a learning community leader with the school community. We've got, nearly, I think it's over 170 members now, where I'm teaching AI to physical security professionals, practical AI to them. I'm also the podcast host of the #1 AI podcast in the industry, called AI FISEC Today. And also University of North Georgia strategic AI advisor. I'm also been published in a bunch of articles and things of the sort, but fundamentally, I know this industry really well. That's a bit about my background, and happy to elaborate a bit more.
Yeah, could you tell us a little bit more about your background at Brevo and maybe at Honeywell?
Yeah. So when I was at Revo, I would say a smaller portion of the time I was working in channel sales, but the greater portion of the time I was starting and growing and leading their enterprise sales team, where we focused on our largest accounts and largest deals. I had customers between like Chick-fil-A, American Red Cross, Whole Foods, MetLife, etc. And we had a really great, successful career with them. Was that with Brevo nearly 7 years. And then when I was at Honeywell, I actually got recruited from Honeywell to lead a breakthrough technology initiative, which is something that they give one business unit a year. They're not all lucky to afford that, where they get more, let's call it, resources to grow. And so there was a new CPO that was hired that handpicked me and allowed me to handpick my team, which I hired people from outside the industry between IBM, Microsoft, Dell, CDW to work with me on the effort. And we grew the business by twice over the course of a year. And that was a great opportunity for me to work for the Fortune 100 company as a sales leader. I traveled to Europe, all over the US. I did that also with Brevo, but notably so with Honeywell. I think to try to lead a newer initiative for an older company is certainly interesting. And so, yeah, so between those two companies, that makes up about 8 years or about 9 years of my experience in the industry out of 14.
Great. So if you're elected to ESA board, tell us what would you bring to the table to represent the associate members of our wonderful industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise that the AI is kind of a big deal, right? And I think that, no, I know that most small, medium businesses, which is what ESA is comprised of, anything less than $100 million is a small, medium business, they're lost, right? In fact, actually, enterprises are lost. Microsoft did a study, 80% of them haven't really started, right? They may have done some light pilots. Certainly, everyone's played with the AI assistant tools, but there's really been no foundational work to get them AI ready. And so I'm also part of the ESA AI Readiness Council, which I left that out. That's an important piece with Priya and team, which is right up my alley because we do AI readiness audits. And so there's nothing more practical about being an AI source for ESA than actually doing it. And I'm leading the effort. And I can't single-handedly point to anyone in the industry that's doing this. That's the fact that I know, and maybe there will be more that will pop up, and I hope that they do. But between what I'm doing from an influence standpoint, between what I'm doing for the company and the product, and knowing this industry as well as I do, I think that we need not only fresh ideas, period, but we also need a perspective around AI that's practical, and I bring all of that. And I think the ESA, what you're doing, has actually been close and important to me for a long time. I actually was a part of the ESA Florida board with Rick Seymour.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And he brought me on when I was earlier into my career. And one of the things that I was always passionate about was workforce development and how do we, make sure we don't run out of techs and talented techs. So things like what C is doing with FAST is always important to me. Education is very important to me. And so, for me, it's like I feel a strong responsibility, although I have limited amounts of time because I'm an entrepreneur and this is how I make money only, right? but I feel a strong sense of responsibility to step up because I don't think other people will. And there will be some, right? I think what we'll find is that people from outside the industry will come into the industry, and I hope that more of that happens. But I do think you'll find it more rare that someone that was foundational in the industry will talk AI the way we want to understand it and need to understand it. And so that's why I had the communities that I've built thus far in order to enrich people with knowledge and to prepare them for tomorrow as AI continues to grow and becomes more and more prevalent.
Hey, Don, thanks very much. I really appreciate, number one, I appreciate you running for the board of directors as associate member. And number two, I appreciate you stepping up and being on ESA's council for AI readiness. I agree with you. It's something that's that is extremely important. So thanks very much for the interview. Best of luck. And ESA members, you only have to vote. That's the only thing you got to do. You got to watch these videos and then vote. So thanks very, very much.